The 100, a ranking of the most influential persons in history by Michael Hart. In this book, Michael Hart classifies Prophet Muhammad as the most influential person in history. Well, Michael Hart is an American astronomer who is a staunch defender of the Judeo-Christian heritage. So Muhammad is linked to Islam and the Quran. His life was spent between Mecca and Medina in the Arabian Peninsula. And then his message spread to what is known nowadays as the Muslim world and ultimately to the whole world. But let us start the story from its beginning. Abu Talib, in fact Abdul Muttalib, took his grandson to the Black Stone and named him Muhammad, that is the praiseworthy. But little did he realize that this small baby, newly born, would be the praiseworthy of millions and millions and millions and millions. Muhammad was born orphan and was very poor. So as a child he worked as a shepherd, and then as a young man he worked as a caravan driver to Syria. Actually, the Arabs had the habit of traveling north in summer to Syria and south to Yemen in winter. He worked for an elder widow. He was actually a strong young man. He had the physical and moral qualities, and above all, he was honest. He was known to his people in Mecca as Al-Amin, the trustworthy. Muhammad and Khadija got a few kids, but all of them passed away in infancy, except Fatima. Muhammad had the habit of tahannut, that is, to go to think in solitude, a sort of retreat in a cave in the mountain. It would take him days and nights. But one night the Holy Spirit visited him, he shook him and ordered him to read. But Muhammad was illiterate. Then the revelation of the Quran came to him piecemeal. He would recite it to his closest friends and relatives in secret. But once he was ordered to preach openly, the persecution started. So as one example, he went to At-Ta'if, a nearby town, and started preaching to its leaders. They rejected him, humiliated him, and even sent their thugs and kids to stone him. So they made his feet bleed. So he cried to God and went to hide in a garden. And there came Addas, a Christian, who sympathized with him, who wiped his bleeding feet and offered him some grapes. Then the persecution reached its peak with his own people in Mecca, who wanted to kill him. So he had to flee with his best friend Abu Bakr and father-in-law. They had to cross some 400 kilometers in the burning desert, followed by fierce warriors. Once he reached Al-Madinah, he founded the Islamic State with a constitution that guaranteed not only the rights of the Muslims, but also the rights of the pagans and the rights of the Jews. 8 years later, he came back with a full army. Remember, he fled with one man, now he's coming back with 10,000 companions, 10,000 saints. He entered Mecca, his own people were afraid of retaliation, but he granted them general pardon, armistice. 1 year later, he made his final pilgrimage to the Black Stone, and he died. Now he left us the Quran, which is sometimes compared, its words are compared to the ocean. And we Muslims believe that his name is mentioned in the Bible, which means that Jews, Christians, and Muslims should unite and live in peace. Salam.